Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of Show Me the Collectibles, where I'm your host, Crender Hugh, aka my real name. And before we jump in with Clark there, we're going to give a huge shout out to our sponsors here at Friends of the Squared Circle / Show Me the Collectibles. We got Darren Corbin there. You can follow Darren Corbin on all social media platforms at Darren Corbin, as well as at patreon.com / Darren Corbin, where tiers just start out at $1. Huge shout out to Superior Creations for all our custom tumbler needs. As you can see, we got Darren Corbin there, Eric Cannon, those beautiful custom tumblers. You can get custom tumblers made at facebook.com / Superior Creations. And as you see, Joey and Sierra got their custom tumblers. Huge shout out to the boys at 13 cards subject to change. Jesse, Zach, and Leroy with the second place beard. And let's not forget, WrestlePalooza's coming up here February. That is not right. Friday, January 13th. That is a horrible plug, but check them out on Facebook and make sure to get your tickets for WrestlePalooza before they sell out. Clark, how are we doing there?
Hey, I'm doing great. Just I wish I could get used to these shorter work weeks.
Oh, yeah. I've been off 4 or 5 days now, and I still got another 5 days off because I worked it right where I get 11 days off. So,
ooh, nice.
I should start streaming because then I would have all this free time, but it's just too much extra work for me. So
sure.
So you know why you're here, sir. We'll just jump right into it like we always do here at Friends of the Squared Circle and Showing the Collectibles. Let's see those collectibles you got for us.
All right, so like we've touched on this off and on. Mm-hmm. I'm a big retro video game collector. I had a really great collection for a while, and then unfortunately it got stolen, and then I had to rebuild it. So also, like tracking down some of these games a second time, such a pain in the butt. So, anyways, first on my list, let's see if I can hold this up without my ring light being glowy. This is Persona 2. The Persona series really took off around the release of like Persona 4, Persona 5. And I think the price shot up just because people were like, wait, there's a couple other games. I've described the Persona series as it's kind of like Pokemon, but with like mythical gods, demons, like mixed in with like some like anime style like slice of life wackiness.
And that was on the PlayStation format you had there, right?
Yep. OG PlayStation.
Yeah, I just saw Grand Theft Auto 2 on PlayStation, and I felt so old. So
yeah. Do you want me to just keep going?
Yeah, just keep going, sir. Sorry.
Okay. All right. No worries. I wasn't sure if like we're gonna do like round robin or.
Oh no, mine will be at the end, then I can close her out here. So.
Yeah. So like this is gonna either really interest like collectors or people tuning in, or they're gonna like be like, okay, I'm gonna fall asleep because we're getting nerdy here. Another one that was tough to track down: Super Robot Taigen OG Saga Endless Frontier, which is quite a word solid title. That's one on the 3DS. There's this game that came out called Project X Zone, which was like a strategy based RPG, but it featured numerous franchises like characters from like Resident Evil, Virtual Fighter. What are some of the other ones? I think like Die Hard Arcade, if you remember that. And there's like 2 characters that came from this title. So another instance where like a sequel or something shoots up and then or gets popularized, and the sequel just like or the original just spikes in value.
Very nice. Now, what was the name of that one more time? Because I can imagine as a kid trying to find that game, but
no, yeah, oh yeah. Now it's like trying to explain to like one of your parents, like, yeah, I want this one for Christmas.
Right.
It is Super Robot Taigen OG Saga Endless Frontier.
Yeah, I could see like when I worked at like Walmart there for 10 years, people were like, I need one of those PlayStation or Xboxy games, and it's like, well, which one do they have? Well, I don't know. They just wanted this game. It's like, well, I need to know the platform and order which one to sell you. So
sure. And another reason for like Persona and Endless Frontiers rarity is like this publisher here, Atlas. They make a lot of really good quality RPGs. They also have a lot of duds, but they do pretty limited print runs. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but that also causes them to get pretty rare. Like it's enough to where like
Mhm.
for like current gen stuff, I've started to just pre-order it because even if the game's a dud, I know it's gonna appreciate in value later on.
Oh, definitely. Nowadays, everything seems like it's 3, 4 times more than the actual value when it came out. So,
Oh, brother, yeah, like I'm just seeing stuff on like PlayStation 2 and like PlayStation 3, even Xbox 360 climbing.
mhm. And I want to rebuild my collection as well as like the 360 and the PlayStations, and it's just like it's like $40 just for a used game, and I'm thinking like, well, $20 more, and I could just buy PS5 or the Xbox we have here. So it's just ridiculous.
Sure, and then like some of those random games, like I know one that was popular on Twitter for a little bit, like Def Jam Fight for New York.
Oh
You're,
yes, yep, yep.
yep, great game, but now that's sitting at easily like 150 to two hundred
Oh
dollars.
jeez. Jeez, I've been trying to scoop up as many Xbox games as I can. If they're $5, it's like I haven't played it before. I'm gonna get it. Like I just bought 3 of the 4 Hitman games
Nice,
because I
nice.
remember those were some classic ones back in the day. So, and
Yeah,
luckily
those
finding those out in the wild. So,
yeah, those ones were a blast, and I haven't played like the new there's like one Hitman that's out that's like kind of in a seasonal format.
oh
I've,
okay,
g- I've got it installed, just haven't, it's on the never ending game backlog.
yeah, I hear you there. I've got Crazy Taxi. I was so
Nice.
excited to get that. What was another one I just got was for the Xbox there. It's another fighting game. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but it's just like I haven't played it yet, but I need to get to it. But they're just stacking up. You know, the
Hmm.
joys of being a collector. So, and folks, I keep looking off camera because I do have a cat running around, and I'm making sure that she does not bite the ring light here. I don't want that to go viral for a cat chewing on a cord. So I apologize if I keep looking around here.
Yeah, no worries. Um, Next up, because I just kind of grabbed like a couple like fun ones out of the
Hmm.
collection. I've got Skies of Arcadia Legends, the GameCube release.
Okay.
This originally dropped on the Dreamcast. If you remember
Oh,
that console.
Dreamcast. I love
Yep.
Dreamcast.
And like there's like this doodad that you could plug into the controller that would serve as I don't know like a mini game. So they had some fun mini games. Another RPG, but you're this time around you're like sky pirates.
Hmm. Yeah,
And
definitely Dreamcast. I played a lot of the sports titles before that was a huge thing, and then Virtual Tennis, Crazy Taxi. I remember my
Hydro
buddy
Thunder.
playing that Toad one all the time. Uh, I never knew what it was, but he'd sit there and just game for hours with this little Toad game.
Oh, is it Sea Man where
I
you control a
probably,
fish dude? Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, like my three games I remember off of Dreamcast were like Ready to Rumble, Hydro
Hmm.
Thunder, and Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, okay, yep. I remember everybody playing that in the arcade system with the line, and then if the guy won, he'd keep going, and then it would just keep swapping out.
Yeah, and I think like that gets lost on a lot of the newer generations, like
Mhm.
putting your quarter up for dibs.
Oh yeah, I remember those days. And then
Um,
Dance Dance Revolution was a huge one at the arcades. That I mean, it sounds archaic when you say arcade, but
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like, there's one right now in Roseville that's got a couple DDR machines, and
nice.
when I went back home to Sioux Falls, like, they imported a bunch of other rhythm games, but of course they're holding it down with some DDR.
I have no rhythm for that game, so
I don't either, but like for a little bit there, like it's great. It's a great game to get your cardio in. But I wasn't on the level of like getting my own like custom like foot pad. I know some people that have gone all in like that.
how was your Guitar Hero skills? I just recently played Rock Band for the first time back in October, and it was rough.
I would have to warm up my hand. That one button on the end, like making those pinky stretches,
Hmm.
that trips me up.
They don't make games like that anymore. I remember 64 had the drums for Donkey Kong,
Yeah,
and then
Donkey
obviously,
Konga.
yeah, yep, yep.
And now it's fun to see like videos of like I don't know, like someone beating Dark Souls with the Donkey Konga controller. Somehow they mapped it just right.
Now it's all VR, and they're just hitting the TVs and hitting each
Yeah,
other. And
I've wanted to get into VR, but like um even doing that for a little bit kind of gives me like this weird like out of body, like almost like motion
Mhm.
sickness.
Yep.
It's like when you're on like a treadmill or something for way too long and then you get off of it.
For the folks at home, I don't use a treadmill. I just walk everywhere.
Fair enough, fair
I like to
enough.
say I'm a body guy.
Yeah, I'm kind of. COVID added a little bit, but we're getting
Oh
there. We're
yeah, we
getting
won't
there.
get into that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, and last but not least, I love. Hopefully, like the ring light doesn't like wash this out, but like cool little holographic title here. This
Okay, yeah.
is Xenosaga 3, third in the Xenosaga trilogy. It's made by Bandai or Namco Bandai. I know it sounds like Bandai Namco, but I always mix the two up. Um, another great like sci-fi RPG series, and since like the first two were criminally underrated, but at the time they didn't sell well. The third one just kind of got like a like we just slipped this in kind of release. Went super under the radar, so let's if you can give me 1 minute here, I'm gonna see what this spike to because half price books like they're very hit or miss with like their pricing, but I got this guy for $25.
Okay.
Actually, probably less. And $225.
Wow. That's probably the lowest one you could find on there before people are bidding on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like the site I use it aggregates all of the completed listings.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And it goes by like loose, like if it's just disc only, or complete where it's got, the case, the box. Um I obviously don't plan to sell it. That's why I'm keeping the stickers and
Hmm.
stuff on. But it does drive me bananas when I'll see a game for like eBay prices, but it's still got like the Hollywood video stamps like right on the
Yep.
disc or
Yep. Like I just saw Casper the Ghost at the used video game store in town here, and it's like $100, and I'm like, I don't even remember that being a classic game. Why is
right.
it so much? And I absolutely hate ET, but yet it has like a whole documentary on Netflix about how it was like a game that was so good or so bad that they had to bury them all. Like
Oh yeah, like that game was so bad that like it almost crashed the video game industry in the 80s. Because they went all in, like, okay, like ET's coming out, like this is gonna be like the Mario Bros before Mario Bros. And they're like, like kids, like like the whole family are gonna be lining up around the block to buy this ET game, and came out and it was a steaming turd. Like, um,
he actually looks like a steaming current. I'm actually afraid of ET. I can't stand him, so it just yeah. Yeah. And I catch a
yeah,
lot of shit for that because like my coworkers will prank me with it. There was a Snapchat filter there for a while, and I got so many pictures, and then yeah, it seems like it's coming back and popular because it's had like the 25th year anniversary. There's Funko Pops now. There's little people figures, and I'm just like, nope, move
you
on,
just
move
like, I
on.
can't escape
Yep,
this.
yeah, burn
Yeah,
down Walmart.
that's
All right, yep.
like one aside here. That's also my rule of thumb when it comes to collecting games is I want to grab stuff I'm actually gonna play.
Hmm.
I know there's games like ET or Supernova's Arc. Um, it's basically Doom with like Bible stuff.
Okay.
It's going for probably $1,000, and I'm like, yeah, I don't need to spend $1,000 on this. Like, not even for the memes.
And I know King of Old School and I, who's going to be on these more regular now after the holidays, him and I talk about how like the market has just gone up. Someone
Yeah,
snags it up, and it's as soon as they get it, it's on it's online for twice its value. And it's ridiculous.
yeah. There's a couple games on my holy grails list. A lot of them are survival horror, like They came out around the time like Resident Evil got popularized, so a lot of
Okay.
people
Yep.
were like trying to jump in on that trend. Um, and like a lot of those like obscure games are now sitting in like the 600 to a grand range. And I'm like, yep, not gonna do it.
Well, hopefully you can hit some yard sales this summer and find a gem while you're out and about. I know I
Oh,
get lucky once in a while, but I have more lucky with DVD shopping than anything.
nice.
So speaking of me with movies, since I just mentioned DVDs, we're gonna start out with one of my favorite movies here. This is a movie that I've bought in probably 20 or 30 well, not that many, but I've bought a bazillion of them. This is a VHS
Very
copy
nice.
of Jurassic Park. Now we just talked about how like something like this usually goes for $1, and I'm starting to see these online for about $5 a piece, which is ridiculous for an old VHS tape. This movie, as well as dropped it. Planet of the Apes. I have probably bought on so many formats. So like I have it on DVD, so I had to upgrade after VHS. There you go, Raven. You can play with that. I've bought it on Blu-ray. Eventually,
Nice.
I'll get the 4K set now that we have the Xbox that plays 4K. So I mean, it's just one of these movies that I just think's amazing. So now this is my treasure right here. This was kind of the thing that I didn't know if you would know what it would be.
Yep, a laser disc.
Good old Laserdisc. Like
Yep.
I do
I
not
was
have
about
a
to ask.
Laserdisc, but I had to buy it on Laserdisc. So this is like one of my favorite things in my collection because it's just nostalgia one, and kids today don't understand that flipping a disc is a thing from the past. Or with Titanic, you had two VHS tapes that you had to take one out.
Yep.
God forbid if the second one wasn't rewound, so you had to wait 5 minutes to get that. This
Be
has
kind,
four
rewind,
discs.
baby.
4 discs. So you had to get up, take it out, flip it, take it out, put the second one in, flip it. It's ridiculous. Eventually, I'd like to get Lost World on this as well because I think it's just great. And speaking of Lost World, the alternate cover, I had to buy it.
Very cool. I have it as like a backpack.
Yeah. And I also have, the third one, which has another alternative cover, with the silver,
Yep.
and the pterodactyl streak there. And then back to Lost World. This is one of my favorite copies that I have. One, because it has like the hologram there.
Oh yep.
Okay, so this is my favorite part right there. It's a phone card. A phone card. So you kids at home, we used to have to buy minutes so we could call long distance. You want to call grandma in Florida? Well, you better have a phone card with some minutes on it because that wasn't in your plan, So this is probably one of my favorite ones I found. It's a 10-minute phone card there. And this is probably my favorite Jurassic Park collectible that I have for film-wise. Now, the Funko Pops is a whole nother story, but yeah. Jurassic Park, Planet of the Apes, and Star Wars is probably the 3 movies that I've bought on different formats, from VHS to DVD to Blu-ray, eventually 4K. I'm sure I'll buy them for Vudu so that they are saved on the TV as well. But yeah,
Sure. Like I've thought about going more digital with some of my collection. Like even as I opened up my GameCube game, I'm like, okay, there's a little bit of cracking in the case. So I'm like, yeah, unfortunately, like some of the GameCube discs, like disc rot is a thing.
Yep. Yeah, I'm not even sure if half these VHS works. I just want them. That's one thing, like that I love is the cover art. I feel like that's what's so great about, you get different copies. You just get that variety of art, or you get a special little phone card. I still think that's the greatest thing ever.
Right.
And there's actually another, alternative cover to this one where it doesn't have the hologram. So I'm wondering if that was a bonus, And then again, widescreen and full screen. That was a thing back in the day.
Yeah.
Kids have it so easy today with all their streaming networks. So.
I don't know. They just pop it in, and it's like, okay. It's smart enough to format itself, whether you're doing a vertical
Oh yeah.
or
Oh yeah.
landscape on your phone or your devices.
All righty. Well, we won't keep you too long, Clark. I know you got some stuff to get to tonight, as well as possibly streaming if you're streaming tonight.
Yep.
Before we go, why don't we just tell everybody where to find you here? I'll throw that graphic up for you, and you can run your sales pitch there.
All right. Yeah. You can find me pretty much everywhere on the internet as Referee Clark. When I went out to TwitchCon, I realized, yeah, Ref Clark Feldman's probably a little bit of a mouthful. So let's keep it nice and condensed, easy to say. And so, yeah, you can find me over on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch, Twitter. I think a lot of even my like Steam, Blizzard, etc. Like a lot of those IDs, you're either going to be like Referee Clark or some variation of.
Yeah, definitely check out his TikTok streams. I'm usually in their comments bugging him, like, "What game are you playing today?" Because I haven't seen that. I enjoy having conversation with you on there. I try to remember that you are streaming to shut up once in a while, and then usually Amy
Oh no,
Rainey
that's
take a shot. Usually like, "Oh, what is he playing?" So, and
I
then the
joke that while I call myself a variety streamer, but really a lot of times I just end up being like I just end up chatting with like a game on in the background.
Mhm. That's great. All right, Clark. Well, we'll get you out of here so you can get to what you got to do tonight. Thank you for coming on not only Friends of the Squared Circle in the past, but as well as Show Me the Collectibles. Maybe eventually down the line we'll get you on that showcase. You can talk about some of those reffing matches and your interaction with those stars. So
Sure, definitely.
perfect. I appreciate you for all your support you've given me over the last few months with this. We'll kick you out to the lounge and then we'll chat off camera for a bit.
All right, sounds good.
All
Sounds
right,
good.
appreciate it.
Yep, appreciate it.
Alrighty. Like kicking people out. I feel like I got some authority around here. All right, everybody. That is another episode of Show Me the Collectibles, where I'm your host, Crander Q, aka my real name. Now, don't forget about our sponsors here. Give Darren Corbin a like on all social media platforms there. Another great way to support Darren is patreon.com/Darren Corbin, where tiers just start out at $1. Also, huge shout out to Superior Creations for all your custom tumbler needs. Again, we got Darren Corbin, Eric Cannon custom tumblers that we've had made and gave away in the past. And you can see Joey and Sierra got their custom tumblers at the last wrestling show. Give them a like and follow on Facebook.com/Superior Creations MN. Huge shout out to the boys at 13 Cards Subject to Change, where I love to take cheap shots at Leroy with his second place beard. They do a podcast recap and everything you need for wrestling in today's world. And if you want to follow me on all social media platforms, good way to follow us on Facebook at Friends of the Squared Circle. If you want to be on an upcoming episode at Friends of the Squared Circle or Show Me the Collectibles, we got our email there below. Give us a like and follow there. And last but not least, go ahead and check out WrestlePalooza coming Friday, January 13th there at First Avenue there. Great promotion. We love First Wrestling here. And also, again, don't forget Clark there. Follow him on those social medias. Check out those TikTok lives. Always a fun time in there. So, and it's your boy, Crander Q. Crander Q out.